Okay, so I want to do a quick video talking about psychic attacks and twin flame connections and how they hit both partners different. A psychic attack often in twin flame connections often are aimed to affect twin flames by targeting their energetic bond, which creates a lot of confusion, emotional distance, and miscommunication between the two. For the divine feminine, the attacks on the divine feminine often feel like sudden emotional heaviness, sudden heartbreak, not feeling good enough, feeling overly like overwhelmed, overly tired, and a strong desire to not be around anyone. It's like all you want to do is be in bed. You really don't want to do too much. You're feeling nauseated. You're constantly getting sudden headaches out of nowhere. And it's like you don't know. You're thinking that something is wrong with you. And these will hit you more effectively or stronger when you're starting to use your intuition more. When you're starting to think about your person more, whether you know that that's your person or not. And then spiritual blockages. Because the divine feminine is usually more energetically open and intuitive, it makes the divine feminine the first to kind of like sense who's standing in the way of the connection, who's trying to create blockages or interfere. And if you and your person have went through this in previous lifetimes, that's a deep inner knowing that comes to the divine feminine. You're all of a sudden shown a lot of things about certain people, whether through visions, deep thought, dreams, and different things like that, about people that you're attached to and people that your person is attached to. And they're just all coming in at one time while you're going through attack. Especially if it's at a time where you and your person are kind of getting close. Now, for the divine masculine, they tend to get hit with like mental fogs or brain fogs, which leaves them in an energy where their consciousness is clouded. And it's difficult for them to like concentrate, remember things, or think clearly. They start feeling confused, and it's difficult for them to find the right words to say at times. They're kind of like spacing out and feeling detached from their surroundings, and could often experience periods where they don't want to engage mentally with anyone. They start losing their train of thought and feel like their thoughts are slow or sluggish, and it takes them a long time to respond to things or find the right words to say, which kind of leaves them in a mindset of feeling like I can't express myself freely or clearly. And as I say, if you were connected to your person at a time where you were waking up, you're getting these downloads, these, deep inner nudges, and you were being shown who they are to you, that's when the attacks start coming just intensively to you and your person. But they were coming in a different way. Like you and them were getting hit different. It wasn't the same type of feeling, the same type of effect. Hold on one second. And if your person was in a toxic cycle, confused, and you were trying to like warn them, they were experiencing this heavy, and they didn't know they were under attack, and that the people that they were tied to in that cycle were like open vessels being used physically to attack them on an energetic level. You could be around a person, not even interacting with that person. And if you're attached to them energetically, just sitting around them, not even, engaging, they're able to use that person, if they're vibing low in a toxic cycle that you're in, they're able to use that person that you're around, or certain people that you're around, to energetically strike you with the psychic attack. It's like everything that's going on spiritually end up happening physically. So if you're distancing yourself spiritually from a lot of people at a certain time, they get upset. So it starts that spiritual warfare. You're guarding your energy. They can no longer be in your energy to drain you. You're spiritually awoke and spiritually aware. And it's like, it starts, as I say, a spiritual warfare, spiritual battle, which end up being a physical distance between certain people, and also like a hidden battle behind the scenes. A lot of people that you could have been close to, and you kind of pulled back from those people. They don't like it. They don't respect it. They don't respect your boundaries. Because they feel like all this time you've been connected to me, or, been engaging with me, they're confused. They feel like you're acting different. And they start doing certain things behind the scenes to try to figure out how can they, have some type of control over you, where you can't control the distance. You can't set firm boundaries. And it's like your person's perception of you get distorted when they're going through these type of attacks and they don't know. They could have definitely started making impulsive decisions without thinking. They started having sudden doubts about the connection, about their emotions, which had them in an energy of ghosting you, wanting you to chase after them. And these attacks always aim to hit your person harder, to block their heart space and their clarity when it comes to who you are to them, to keep them feeling trapped in old patterns, karmic cycles. It keeps them open to be tempted by these energies, to make them feel more trapped physically and mentally. And the goal is always to make you feel, the divine feminine, feel rejected, heartbroken, feel like you're not good enough. You can't trust your intuition. You shouldn't have trusted your intuition. That's why your person is acting the way they're acting. That's why they ghosted you, which disrupts the union and weaken the trust between you and your person. That's the goal that karmic energies aim for. So you and your person would never come in union. But I feel like a lot of people, they could have went through that, but a lot of people could have, instead of focusing on why your person was acting the way they were acting, you could have been going through a lot at that time. So you had no choice but to focus on what you could control. Focus on yourself. You could have been, ending out a situation or ending out a cycle at that time as well, where you were emotionally mature. You were in a mindset where I'm not going to allow anyone to play over my emotions. If you felt like your person was trying to play mind games with you to trick you or something like that. It's like you were standing on self-love, nurturing yourself, standing on your self-worth, and choosing yourself because you know your worth. And that alone broke whatever it is that karmic energies felt like they were going to keep being able to throw at you and your person. Because it's like one person did a major turnaround, a drastic change, which caused a trigger for their person to do a drastic change. And it ended out that cycle where you and your person were easy to be targeted. And that's why you and your person needed to be in separation, because I feel like your person could have felt like whatever they were going through, it was something wrong with them mentally. Like, people could have even made it seem like something was wrong with them. They had mental health issues and different things like that. And this could be things that they went through when they were a child, not knowing what they were up against since the day they were born. Same as you. You could have went through migraines and different things like that, not feeling yourself since you were a child, not wanting to be around people, not wanting to engage, not wanting to listen to your intuition, or you just realized that you had a strong intuition since you were a child and you didn't know that you were under attack. This is what's going on behind the scenes. So you would feel like something is wrong with you, and you would listen to your intuition, and your person would feel the same. Everybody around you in a toxic cycle will make you feel like something is wrong with you. Don't listen to your intuition. And they're diagnosing you with all type of things that it's not really something that you're going through. It's an energetic and spiritual warfare. That you and your person have been going through for many lifetimes. And it's like, I feel like this lifetime, you and your person were able to gain more research and knowledge about these things and about the connection that you and them share and how separation works, what causes it, and the things that you and them are up against. Certain things that you need to heal, certain people you need to move away from, distance yourself from. In other lifetimes, you probably didn't have access to that type of knowledge. You just knew in your intuition certain things, but you couldn't clarify it, or you could have had people around you that just didn't want you to trust. It's like they didn't nurture your intuition. And that's how it is when you're in a toxic cycle. People want you to believe that you're crazy. It's something wrong with you. You think too much. You're too off into your emotions. They do everything but nurture your intuition, your spiritual gifts, and different things like that. So you would never be able to wake up to them. You would never be able to pay attention to your surroundings. You would stay trapped in an illusion. It didn't work this lifetime. The only reason why it was able to work at the time that you were educating your person and finding out a lot, it was because your person was not woke. They weren't aware. And I feel like at that time, you didn't know what you and your person were fully up against. As I said, you felt like there were people physically interfering. So you weren't seeing the bigger picture at that time. But you listening to your intuition and choosing not to feed into the energy that your person was in, you passed a major test. And because you passed the test, the energy that you chose to be in is what helped your person to wake up fully to what was going on around them. Because it's like the way that it would hit your person, it would have them in an energy where they would feel like they can't say no to people. They can't pull back from people at certain times. Where they would have to, just like disappear or something. They would feel so overwhelmed. But yeah, as I say, it hit both of you differently, and it's to make both people doubt the connection and not trust each other. Not trust your intuition and the emotions that you share with that person. I also did a separate video about how to protect yourself when you're under a psychic attack, whether you're in a twin flame connection or you're someone that's a light worker. You don't have to be on a twin flame journey to be under a psychic attack. But yeah, so I'm going to end this video out because I forgot to put this information in the last video that I did about how to protect yourself from psychic attacks and different methods that you can use to clear your energy, clear your home, clear your space, and different things like that. So I might post this video before I put out the protection video on how to clear your energy, because I forgot to add it in that video.